So in today's video, we are going to be having a look at this document that has spreaded all over X. It is from the SEC's website, but it seems like as if there has been a lot of confusion regarding it. So we'll jump into that. So far, the market is looking quite good. We have seen a bit of recovery. We were actually in the red for the past 2 days, but we're doing pretty nice now, up by around about 5% or more on the majority of these tokens. So what is this SEC file that has been going around? Now you'll see over here, we have this comprehensive proposal with it being titled XRP as a strategic financial asset for the US. I had to get the words out of my mouth for that one. But a lot of views have been going around. We're getting roughly around about 500,000, 600,000. So of course it's taken by storm to the XRP community. Now if you actually have a look at the screenshot, because of course it is the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, it seems like as if they almost wrote it themselves. And so of course, just from that headline, because a lot of people do read headlines, which is fine, you would expect that it would be coming from the SEC. And so therefore this would be somewhat good news for us, because then it shows that of course they're going to come towards XRP and potentially use it as an investment. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. So what I've decided to do is actually to go on the link to see what it's for. You have over here the comprehensive proposal and the title, along with the benefits. So we have $1.5 trillion freed from banking liquidity, 7.5 billion in annual transaction cost savings, and the ability to establish a national Bitcoin reserve. Now, just from looking at this, it seems like as if it would be some sort of legal document that they may have wrote. However, you'll see over here at the bottom, which is what I've noticed, it's written by Maximilian Storn-Dinger, and so therefore it's not actually coming from the SEC themselves, but however, someone has actually submitted this as a proposal on the website. Now, of course, this has left a lot of people annoyed and angry, because it did seem like as if it was coming from the SEC, and I totally get that. And therefore, just to dispel the whole news, it definitely isn't something that is coming from the SEC themselves, but you'll have a lot of comments over here just basically telling everyone that, guys, this is only a proposal. It's nothing that has actually been official or even approved or confirmed. So unfortunately, this isn't something that would be a catalyst for XRP. Maybe in the near future, but it is kind of a distorted piece of news. Over here from Chad Steingraber, we have the verdict on private blockchains is in, and it's not good. This is coming from the ex-Ripple Robbie Mitchnick. Public blockchains are the only path forward unless you want to be a siloed island by yourself, and that privacy is still key for internal use. So we have this video coming in with Blackrock's head of digital assets, and he's saying that the direction of travel and focus for TradeFi firms are public blockchains. And of course, guess who is decentralized and a public blockchain? Well, we have Ripple. Let's take a look at this.
Financial institutions' efforts on private blockchains in the past, and maybe sort of the shift to public blockchains, the regulatory political temperature that has kind of been changing in recent years to kind of lead to that.
Yeah, well, I think the verdict is in on the private blockchains, and it's not good. That was obviously where a lot of the TradFi exploration in this space occurred in the early years. In particular, that was really all of the banks and some of the other TradFi institutions had comfort with. But the track record is what it is, and it reflects the fact that there's been very, very de minimis actual adoption in an economic, commercial way at scale of any of these private blockchain projects. And I think, in hindsight, at least, that makes sense in terms of the curbing of the value prop of blockchain's potential that a private blockchain represents. And so public blockchains are increasingly the focus, even for TradFi firms. Maybe not all yet, but certainly that's the direction of travel. And we've seen obviously encouraging regulatory guidance over the last couple of weeks that help support the notion that this is now a suitable territory for even banks in the US to engage in.
So this is pretty good news coming from BlackRock himself, especially with the head of digital assets, because they are essentially the ones that are going to be paving the way into investing in these cryptocurrencies and of course with these blockchains. And therefore he's clearly saying over here that private is not the one for them. They're going to be looking at public. And that is our strategy over there. It's only time that will tell before, of course, we do get any sort of investment with Ripple's blockchain. Over here, we have Ripple's XRP gets green light for crypto payments and services in the UAE. Now, if you do remember before, I covered some videos regarding some licenses that we were actually able to receive, and I think they were from the Dubai Financial Services. Over there in the UAE, they're pretty much pro crypto and they're definitely pro Ripple. It seems quite good, and to be honest with you, they're not going through any sort of SEC lawsuit case over there compared to the US. But if you have a look over here, you'll see on the building we've got Ripple and obviously the Arabic writing, as well as crypto means business. So of course, a lot of traction over there, not to mention the fact that the UAE does of course have a lot of wealth there, and so therefore we'll be able to attract investment within the Middle East as well as Americas. From this post, we have the first real estate RWA pool repayment complete on the XRP ledger. So this marks a significant step forward in demonstrating the potential of real estate backed assets within the XRP ledger ecosystem. And this is by Alicia. Again, when it comes to tokenization, and especially with the ledger in general, it just goes to show how we are able to use it within the real estate industry. And I think that this is quite easy when using that as well, because of course everything is going to be tokenized. But now that it's completed on the XRP ledger, this goes to show that we've got real proof, real results, and it's not something that is just a proof of concept. So some pretty good news over there. This is a price action of XRP. So we're currently trading at $2.35. We're doing pretty good, right? We didn't break below that $2 level. So if you have a look at the 1 day chart, we were actually just at 2.22. Now we've climbed roughly around about that 13-cent mark. On the 7 day chart, we are down by 6%, but still it's not doing bad as we have been able to recover. If you have a look at this chart, you'll see over here the recovery and the slow progression. We've gone from 2.44 all the way to that massive dip when we heard about the news of the tariffs and everything like that. And then it went to 1.93. However, it didn't fall through that. It didn't break through. It managed to surpass it and actually bounce back. And you can see over here just these little increases where we went from 2.13 and then we went to 2.22 and a nice little 2.32 again, making these higher highs. And of course now at 2.35. Now on the 1 month chart, you'll actually see the performance wise we are down by 3.68%. So we did actually have this head and shoulders, then we had a bit of an increase here, and then actually we took that dump. Now that the dump is pretty much over with on that day, we've been able to slowly climb back up. Of course, we had this CPI data just on Wednesday, which was pretty good news, and that's overall affected the markets as well and has contributed to it. I mean, the volume is at 4.53 billion, so it's definitely halved compared to where it was at before at 8 billion just around a couple of days ago. Again, where do I see the price action for XRP going? Now, I really want it to stabilize above that $2 mark. That's what I'm currently looking for. If we do break down below that 190 level, then we could potentially be seeing 170 and a bit more lows. But again, we just need to make sure that the market is stable, and right now it can be quite volatile, especially with all the news upcoming and of course with what's going to be happening in April with the executive order that Trump will be signing and also with the further tariff news. For the global crypto market, we have 2.74 trillion and it has increased by 3.94%. So Bitcoin is currently at 84,664. Now, does this mean that it is a bull market? Are we going to be running? What I will say is that we are definitely trading higher than we were before last year. However, the market is still pretty much in that extreme fear mode. It's at 18 and no one really knows what's going to be happening, especially when we're going to see these massive volatile changes every single day. Again, with the stock market, you can see that already happened as well, and especially with the likes of Tesla, where it can literally just lose its value of $40 or $50 in 1 day. And that's why I had to say always trade carefully and leverage your positions. Is it a time to buy into XRP right now? Personally, I think it is a little bit high for what it is. If you're just starting an entry position, I think an entry position should be around about 1.50. But with that, we've got to see how the markets actually flow as well.